All right. Hi, I hope you hear me, and thank you for joining me in this Sunday evening. Well, probably not for everyone, it's evening. Hello, everyone. Hello, fellas. If you can hear me, please send me something in the chat so I know everything is fine with our live stream. Awesome. Thank you so much. So let's start then. I don't want to disappoint you, but today I'm not in leopard skin dress just because it's cold here. And I think it was really successful Rammstein meeting and other decisions that have been made after Rammstein. So now I'm thinking, what should I wear on my video when we are asking for F16? We will talk about that later. Yeah, Cinnabon. Someone just made Cinnabon buns. I will pretend that I'm not jealous. Okay. All right. So I have some questions that were prepared before. I asked for them specifically, and I will start with them if you don't mind. And meanwhile, in the middle, I will also reply to your questions. So please feel free to leave them in the chat. Okay? All right. So the first question I have, Oran Baldomir was asking, it is said that there will be 1 million dead and 15 million refugees as the war becomes more intense. If you could turn back time, would you consider war necessary? Would you like Ukraine to act more wisely to prevent war? For example, if NATO membership had not been insisted on. This is a very good question. Thank you for a question. But you said, would I consider war necessary? Ukraine never considered war just because Russia started it. And it started it in 2014, and then again, full-scale invasion in 2022. So regarding NATO, before 2022, majority actually were, it might happen. That's what life is in Kiev. 1 second. Well, I prepared a little bit of this. Well, that's, yeah, please give me a few seconds, and I'm sorry for technical issues. At least now you know how a blackout looks like. All right. I actually came to my friend's house from my house specifically for this reason, because a few hours before, my electricity switched off, and I took my stuff and I came to my friend's house, and see, it was pretty good, but you witnessed this blackout. So yeah, hope everything is fine now, and let's continue. Okay. Dars Putin did this. Yes, I think that I will pass this to him, that you were not happy about that. So let's continue. About NATO. A lot of people were like against joining NATO. But of course, narratives changed, and I think if we joined NATO before 2014, there would be no war today. But again, coming back to the point that would Ukraine act more wisely? What is more wisely? We were trying, and if you remember in the beginning, we were trying to negotiate, right? We were signing also all this Minsk 1, 2, and yeah, we never wanted war, and I hope you know that. And we never considered war whatsoever. And yeah, just need to remember that Russia started it in 2014 and fully invaded Ukraine last year. Arthur Attack MS Bandit asking, would it be a disaster if Ukraine can't liberate all your territories, say in Donetsk? This is not a scenario that we can accept, because simply just because there is no point. And if Russia gets 1 inch of our Ukrainian land, they will try it again, and they will. I mean, we have an evidence after Donetsk, after Donbass, after Crimea, and if we gave some part now, like it wouldn't stop, and unlikely, it would stop on Ukraine. So no, Donbass and Crimea is must for us, and yeah, it's I don't think that there is other option, especially after after what Ukrainian people have been through, and still what is going on now. Let me read your messages. John, Maria didn't pay her electricity bills. Yeah, I will pass my friends to pay electricity bills, but I think I agree with you that Darth Putin had influence on this. It's all his fault, and please remind him in his comments under some of his posts that yeah. Okay, let's see what is next. It's not Ukrainians' fault, it's Russia. What is next? Only solution, Ukraine must win. And right away in NATO. Well, we have this, like we started this path, of course, but there is a long way to NATO. And let's see, let's win the war first, okay? Next, Michael Robin asks, likely some people have concerns about this very actually interesting question. Likely some people have concerns about government corruption due to last week's story that was widely reported. How and where can people donate to assure their contributions go where Ukrainians most need them? And Jimmy Blue asks, after the war, do you think the high, even corruption, almost the government officials will decrease and have a more EU and Western democracy? So yeah, there will be more questions about later about where to donate and how to choose best option, where to help. I will reply all of that. But this is a couple of questions that I've received about corruption, and especially after a scandal last week, and yeah, about how this will look after the war and during the war, and where people can send support. This is a very important topic, And I want to stop on these questions and these issues more, because this is very important topic, not only for Ukrainians, of course, for our foreign friends. So I never pretend, and even like in Ukraine, Kiev, when I meet people or I talk to my friends, I never pretend that corruption does not exist in Ukraine. Unfortunately, it does exist, and but I still think that it is a legacy, let's say, of the old Soviet system, um, where basically, but we still have it. I mean, I will not deny that we don't have it. We had at that time when basically everything that you do or you need to get done, you just go and bribe people. And yeah, there are cases now as well, but it is still same in Russia today on the big scale. Um, Before the war, Ukraine had problems, of course, bigger than that, bigger than now, with corruption. And if you remember, before 2014, when it was Yanukovych regime and all those people, pro-Russian people, and not only pro-Russian, it just was, I think, the most corrupted times in Ukraine. Yeah, people since 2014, when people change in power, people have become more, I would say, aware of it, right? After all those investigations, when Yanukovych ran away to Russia and other governmental officials ran away with him, everything, of course, came public. And yeah, before it used to be just a case, and we could say that, well, this is how it is, how it works in our country. But for the last, probably like 10 even years, right? Almost 10 years, people have had enough. And many of the institutions, governmental institutions, have been through this cleaning. Um, yeah, cleaning up from people, first of all, who were involved or had any connection with a previous regime, Yanukovych time, right? And after that, even now, it's been going on. And I strongly believe that, like, honestly, and I want to believe, and I hope, and I will do my best if I can anyhow. I believe that um, we will get there, and this is what we are fighting for, right? And especially after war finishes, or even during the war, like, it's just not that I would say unacceptable, obviously, but the cases of corruption, like recently. And I think Zelensky made, of course, right move, that he fired a lot of high level governmental officials, right? Who were involved in scandals, in corruption scandals. And yeah, and the media. I want to emphasize that media plays as well a big role in this, and it brings up like some investigations, right? And actually, there were a lot of cases where media investigated something, and it brought up like president's attention. And yeah, we have results. So the fact that people are now talking about it in media and in like official media, social media, it is a very good thing. And talking about it and not denying that it exists, it is the first step where hopefully it will be cleaning up soon. Mhm. 1 second. My site is not perfect, so I need to give me a moment to read. Can you say some words about the top officials who were dismissed on Tuesday for corruption? Well, if you want, I can make a post about it, like about specific. There were a few or 5 head of military regional administrations. There were few ministers, deputy ministers. Sorry, one was deputy minister of defense, who was responsible for procurement, I believe, and the other one was deputy minister of infrastructure, or whatever the full name of the ministry is, and I think few more. Yeah. So if you want a full list, if you're interested in this, of course, I can do either separate YouTube video or just post in my Twitter. Dark Putin was mad after you played in NATO movie as Princess Leia. Yeah, well, I didn't see that. Can you speak about rise in voluntarism in Ukraine and the rise in civil society in the past years? I will. There were questions also about that, and I will reply a little bit later. Wait, what I haven't replied about, also, yeah, the second one, the second part of the question, it's about EU and Western democracy, and also what I wanted to note, actually, that I don't know if you heard that now, recently, or this week, there were high-level governmental officials from US who came within a delegation, I think, and not only them, to make an audit for international aid that is provided to Ukraine. And I think this is very important, and I hope it will be audited further. And it is important not only for Western partners, for Ukrainians as well. It is important for us, and we are welcome this audit, because it is important for us to know as well that support that our foreign partners give us, this international technical assistance, international aid, that it goes to the places where it's needed and it is used exactly as it's needed, right? But I also want to remind you that I cannot say the percentage, but the aid that Ukraine is getting, it is not only like, here, tanks and use them. No, a lot of money that is provided to Ukraine, it is also stayed in the country. So they means partners, using it for producing equipment on their territory, right? So it is still supporting their economy, their enterprises. It is paid for trainings as well. You know that a lot of countries now train our servicemen, and UK continues from what they started last year. Last year, I believe they trained around 10,000 10,000 Ukrainian servicemen, and they are aimed, I believe, for 20,000 for this year. So yeah, we should not forget houses and payments for refugees as well, and a lot of funds stay in the countries, and of course Russian propaganda use it as like, you know, Ukraine sells weapons or to third countries or something like that. But I mean, logically speaking, we are a country at war, and in the middle of the war, when we need these weapons, right? I mean, I will not deny that probably some individual cases happened, but uh, I mean, we need weapons to stop Russians, right? So if Ukraine was selling weapons that we receive, I don't think that Ukraine would be in this position that it is today. So, yeah. Mm, all right. David, I cannot wait to get home to Kiev. I miss my country and city. I will bring wreaths for you when I return. Oh my God. I think it was very loud and I was too excited. But I am very excited for Reese peanut butter cups, actually. Yeah, I hope you will get back soon. And what I can say, I hope it will be very soon. Patrick Tang, hello from Singapore. How are ordinary Ukrainians coping with PTSD? Are there any medical support for them? What about the refugees in foreign lands? I will talk further. I have also these questions prepared. People ask me. I mean, before in comments about refugees, ordinary Ukrainians coping with PTSD. Of course, there is medical support. Of course, there are hotlines. There are hotlines with psychology support. There are a lot of even um, like NGOs and some organizations that are actually aimed for like medical and psychological support. Honestly, I cannot reply more or some like professionally how Ukrainians coping with PTSD. If you remember or not, I made a post. I think not a few days after New Year. I was talking to my friend. She lives in the UK. It was not New Year Eve. It was probably something around like 4th or maybe, well, still they were fireworks. And I heard fireworks. I mean, I don't have PTSD, and there are like I have never been fighting on the front lines, and honestly, I haven't experienced that. But I know people who do have, and honestly, it's just I mean it's just so bad, and yeah. But even I still think that it is like I have some psychological problems because I heard on the background, I heard fireworks, and it's just automatically I was like, uh, you need to hide, or are you okay? Who is bombing you or something like that, I said. And then she looked at me and she's like, Maria, is fireworks. I was like, right. And when I hear them, like she had to mute it because I just stopped talking when I heard it, you know. And it's not like I'm not from the area, let's say in Donbass or Kherson or somewhere like in Kharkiv region where people actually were living uh, months in the shelter when it was like 24/7 just bombing, shelling, right? But I do even still have this. So um, yeah, I mean, we will get over that. We will get. No, that's not PTSD. It's just, I mean, I don't think so. You can call it. I don't think so. No, I saw, because I know people who have PTSD, and it's just not that I'm going, when I hear fireworks, I'm going and hiding under the table or something like that. No, but you know, I don't want to speak about sad things, but it's still, guys, it's still different when if you saw my video, um, probably it is even in in shorts, when I was doing makeup in the morning as usual, getting ready to work, and drones were flying. Just well, it was like air raid siren, and then just drones were flying in my area, and I heard them, and it was, I think, still September or something, because my window was opened, and I got like sunlight to do my makeup. So it's not like, kind of what you regular hear in normal life. But anyway, let's keep replying to your questions. Graham Randall, how worried you were that Russian tanks would have been on the streets in Kiev within a few days of the start of the invasion? Did you have any plans to leave the country? No, I have never thought about leaving the country. And also, I have not left Ukraine since the beginning of invasion, except 2 days on my birthday, when I left to see my friend in Poland, in Krakow, in September. So I didn't. I did worried. I was not worried. I mean, honestly, I think it is a long topic. I don't want to take your time and telling all the story. Well, yet or now, or I need to make a separate video about the first days, first weeks of the war, how how it was. But I never felt like I never felt that I was scared that tanks will be on the streets, because I was thinking like, okay, what, Russian tanks on the streets, and what they will. I mean, yeah, taking into consideration what happened, like what was happening in Bucha and Irpin, when people were trying to escape, and Russians just killing civilians, grandpa, grandmas, where they were in these old Soviet cars, were trying to, yeah, they could, um, they could, and they did kill people, but no, I was not thinking about that. I think there were other things that I thought about. For example, where to get food for my family, where to, if we are able to eat, and if we are able to have drinking water, if we, I don't know, if we have enough food supplies for the next days. Um, but yeah, I think I was only the only thing that I was kind of like was not comfortable, and we still, like, of course, as we had to do, closed curtains in the beginning, because of like sabotagers. There were a lot of that in the beginning of invasion, like a lot. And yeah, we had curfews, not like now at 11 p.m. we have started, right? We have curfews, uh, days, like it lasted days, 2 3 days, even more. So yeah, I think that was like my concern. And also there were a lot in social media that these sabotagers like made the marks on the buildings, on the roads, on like everywhere, and even like some like lights, put some lights to correct missiles, to correct or just to make the direction for land forces. So yeah, I think I had concerns about them, but not about other things. Is a concern that Ukraine's population is so low compared to the size of your country? To fight Russia in future, you need more tens of millions of people. Well, fight Russia in future. We will make now, like, I think now this is like a crucial moment to make it happen that we will not have to fight Russians in future. This is the first. The second is it a concern that Ukraine's population is so low now? I mean, not really. I will be speaking now about like people who fled, but obviously we are at war. Obviously people fled to other countries. Obviously population is low now, but people will come back. People will come back, and it's not a concern. The next very important question, because many people asking me this, and I think it will be interesting for you. Brad Clark asks, I want to know if what is the deal with Alexei Navalny? I initially was under impression that he was okay and popular with the people, but I'm seeing a lot of posts saying he's anti-Ukrainian and as bad as Putin. Look, the fact that Navalny now is in jail, it's not the right thing, and it was like how he got into jail, it was anti-constitutional, like it was not legit, and yeah, it was not quite according to any laws, but so I'm against that. However, pretending that he is kind of sane, or he is a good, or he will be, he will be integrated with West, he will have some other policies, it is wrong, I think. And if you watch some videos of him, he has quite imperialistic thoughts and views and point of views. First of all, about annexation of Crimea, and he also had some points of views even about Georgia. So the question, will he be different to Putin? Yes, I think he would. I don't think that he is such a tyrann as Putin. But would it be amazing leader of Russia that who can change Russians' mindset, who can change like their course? I don't think so. I don't. So yeah, I hope I replied this question. Well, exactly. He is he is better than, but it's not like that he is amazing, good, and just Google. I don't want to get, because I'm not really interested in his like career or now what they are doing, but yeah, it's just when I get it on my timeline, I read, and then, but no, I would not want to, stop on this question. Dominic Aldbridge asks, mm, how has the remarkable Ukraine railway, Ukrzaliznytsia it's in Ukrainian, survived, and what impact has this had to the war effort, Ukrainian unity during war, and the moral of civilian population? Uh, well, they are real heroes because since the beginning of Russia's full-scale invasion, more than 14 million people have left Ukraine. And more than 11 million people are now or were in the countries of European Union. And I read that, and I've read that like recently it was announced by the Human Rights Commissioner of Ukrainian Parliament. So if you remember in the beginning when the war started, like they are just heroes, yeah, because so many people were like fled to abroad and under the bombs, and Ukraine railway employees, they did such an amazing job. Like you can you imagine like thousands of people on the railway station trying to escape with all the bags. Like I remember those videos on the beginning of war, um, and yeah, they managed to. They did a great job. I really have a big respect for them. This is very interesting question, and actually, I put some notes even if someone interested in weapons. So, Jugyo asks, Ukraine was a big arms manufacturer during Soviet times. What is state of its domestic arms and ammunition manufacturing now? I prepared this answer because I just wanted you to, know that now the attention is that all attention about supply of the weapons to Ukraine. But and it might have an impression that we're only using Western equipment, and we are fighting exclusively with Western equipment. But yeah, this also used, I think, well, I remember by Russian propagandists when they say that Ukraine. Sorry for the noise. If you hear the noise, again, I'm reminding you that I'm using my friend's house, and the next door, like the house next to them, there is a family, very nice people with little child. So probably you could hear the noise. Yeah. So. And they said that Ukraine, during the independence years, they didn't develop anything on its own, and but it's not true. And actually, I want to read you that. I mean, if someone interested, that armed forces of Ukraine use and produce, obviously, is Ukrainian, for example, Cossack armored vehicle. We have also Ukrainian battle tank. It is called Bulat, and it's a modification of Soviet T-64. And to this date, it's used only in armed forces of Ukraine. Also, we have a good manufacture of UAVs. Stork, which is Laleka in Ukrainian, Fury, Spectator, and maybe you saw the recent videos of the new UAV Shark. Then we have MLRS also, like what else I can say? Stugna, we are using anti-tank missile complex, right? Anti-ship complex Neptune we are using, and the advantage actually of this Neptune, because the advantage over the Western analogies and analog is that it can hit not only ships but also their base, and the range of the missiles is 280 kilometers. So yeah, as you see, we have, and of course we are developing as much as we can, and our budget for military industrial complex is big, and we keep producing and manufacturing Ukrainian ammunition. Well, has he, Chris? Chris said that Neptune turns flagship into submarines. All right. What is the next? Where is it? Kevin Mitchell asks, "How confident are you that Germany and Scholz in particular will not slow down the supply of Leopards? What is your take on Germans' reluctance to support Ukraine from the beginning?" I knew that there would be questions about Germany, of course. Well, by the end of March, Germany will transfer Leopards 2 tanks, Leopards 2 tanks to Ukraine. And it's been decided, and Minister of Defense Reznikov announced, confirmed, and everyone confirmed. So no, I don't think that they will slow down it on purpose. Talking about German reluctance, here there is one word, and it's history. I mean, we know that Germans have a particular sensitivity to deliver arms and weapons in regions where German arms and weapons historically used to kill millions of people. And we should not forget that. And it's a big thing. And also, I think, well, apparently German people also wanted their leaders always to push so-called like peace options, and to have or to be the last to make a move. That's probably why Scholz was like, if US gives Ukraine Abrams, then we give Leopards. Well, US agreed to give Abrams, and well, probably no one, including Scholz, thought that it could happen, but it happened, and that those decisions have been made. And yeah, I really hope that German people would understand that his decision was very critical, for Ukrainian nation, unfairly fighting with this unfair war, of caused by imperialistic state, and it is very important for us. Yes, I also think the Leopards were released after Scholz saw my videos, but I don't need credit. Thank you. No. Okay, we continue. William W. Hi, question from Toronto. Okay, I what 45 minutes. Oh my God, you are not bored. I'm sorry. I will finish soon. Hi, question from Toronto. My dad was in a trench World War II alongside Russians. Any possible talk about Ukraine restarting nuclear weapons? Thank you for your question, William. And there will be people who talk about this for sure. But this is not something we want. I think the solution, like generally, after the war, is to find a way to denuclearize Russia. It will be difficult, but it will be better. Like if Ukraine start building its own nuclear weapon program, right? Nuclear weapons is not good for anyone, and I do hope that one day we will be living in the world where no nuclear weapons exist. Yeah, but now we still need to see what will happen with Russia after the war. So it will depend on that. Thank you, Chris, for your support. Thank you. We keep further. Alan Fox, Maria, you are amazing and have done incredible things. Oh my God, thank you so much. When Ukraine has kicked the real Nazis out of Ukraine, very few deserve a long. Very few deserve a longer vacation than you. That being said, I would like to hear about the logistics, non-specific, and how important that is. So about logistics, I still haven't figured out what did you mean. But if not speaking about anything specific, then of course logistics is very important, and I think Ukraine and Ukraine's partners executed it really well. And there are many of aspects of logistics, right? So if talking about, like, first of all, talking about people you remember in the beginning of war when they were leaving Ukraine, and how amazing job, we spoke about it earlier, Ukrainian railway station did, right? Under the bombs flying over the head, and they achieved amazing results. If we're talking about logistics in terms of weapon deliveries, I think our partners made also a huge like logistics chains, right, and channels on their territories, and that's why we now can get weapon supplies so fast. And yeah, Ukrainian soldiers also, you know, if there was no logistics, then we would have been in a worse situation than now. So yeah, speaking about logistics, like look at Russia, look how big problems it is for them at this stage when they have problems with logistics, right? And what is happening with their soldiers. So I honestly do believe that logistics and logistical channels started from overseas, like US, Canada, other countries, like further, and then coming to Europe, and then in Ukraine domestically. I think we and our partners executed it really well. Okay, there are a few more questions about support and donations. I would like to mention this, if you don't mind. Vika's asking, is there anything that every citizen of another country can do to help that you'd like to see? Then Nefarious Invicto asks, is it feasible for a foreigner probably to come to Ukraine for volunteering, non-military? My specific concern is that personal needs, food, water, electricity, etc., could overweigh the work help which who can offer. How a foreigner could be more effective in helping Ukraine. Then also RBJ asks, for people thinking of going to Ukraine to volunteer, where would you say help is most needed, or where they can be most helpful? Plus tips on how to connect with volunteer organization. And Lars asking, Ukraine is fighting for all free people and will have our support for as long as it takes. Thank you, Lars. I donate sometimes to armed forces via u24.gov.ua, sometimes to various fundraiser for different units. I want the nations to have the most effect. What should I prioritize? So I'm not. I just want you to know that I'm not encouraging anyone to come to Ukraine to volunteer. It is also a huge topic that I think I need to make a separate video on that, because many people in my Twitter DMs ask me about that. And I do appreciate that people have this desire to come and help, but people do not, I mean, many people do not understand what war is and how it is to be at war. This is first. I think I will write this down after, and I will make a separate video regarding how to support us. I want to emphasize that that it is important to know where you donate your money, because even like over social media, we can see sometimes some drama with some certain organizations or individuals, and there are many scammers, many liars. Yes, they exist, unfortunately, during the war even. So it is very important to know where you donate your money, where this money eventually going to. You guys know that, well, yes, most of you know that me personally, I volunteer for Ukraine aid ops, Ukraine aid operations. By the way, Ukraine aid operations need to pay me more. Haha, I'm kidding. Of course, I'm not getting paid. This is a cup that I bought for, I don't remember, I think in summer I got it for my boss, Harry. And yeah, few cups for a ground team. So I'm volunteering. I volunteer for Ukraine aid ops. Founder is Harry from Estonia, and they have registered charity in US. And if you look at the UAO Twitter or at Harry Twitter, you can see absolutely insane number of deliveries that he's making. Absolutely insane number of the units that he's helping. And yeah, of course, you can see where support goes, right? There are many others too. And but you need to check. You need to see first of all, like how transparent they are, right? So Harry is amazing. Yes, I would agree with that. John saying, I follow you on Twitter. You have a great sense of humor despite the war. You are strong. Thank you. Thank you. Well, speaking about humor, I think this is also became, kind of a thing of Ukrainian people during the war. Because I just remembered I was speaking to my friend yesterday, and well, actually, I was speaking to one guy who is doing documentary movie, and he asked me about that as well. And I mentioned about the sense of humor of Ukrainian people, how it is used now, even on the high rank official level, like governmental officials, ministers, and official accounts, how they use sarcasm, irony, and humor delivering information. And of course, my Twitter is like about that, and I present the information. A lot of like posts are in that sarcastic and irony way, but it's just because um, it's the way to cope with everything. It's the way to handle everything that is going on. Yeah, humor keeps you sane. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, because um, sitting and crying all day and just getting deep in this horror that is going on, it is not. It will not help the situation, right? So but I'm very glad that it became a trend now in Ukraine, and mocking Russians. Oh my God, this is my favorite. This became a trend, I would say, in other countries as well. If you look at these, I remember like last post, what it was. Poland president or PM, or not even like Polish president, others too. They are using official like statement, official accounts, like with a humor now. So I think it's amazing. What else we have? I wanted to also to emphasize. I'm finishing. I'm sorry. 57 minutes. Oh my god. Um, Jimmy Anderson asks, many of us do what we can to support, but realize the cost we bear is nothing compared to what each Ukrainian is going through. How do you feel about international supporters taking on trolls attacking you, patronizing white knighting from those not there, or welcome voices? I mean, of course, absolutely welcome those voices. And thank you so much. Thank you, fellas. Thank you, NATO, and everyone else who support me and like um, fighting with disinformation as well. When Russian bots or trolls or just pro-Russian people trying to spread their lies even under my account. But uh, we know that Russia, like on the informational warfare, they spread lots of lies, and yeah, I think it is like it is very important to fight against Russian disinformation, and of course, you might think that like bashing trolls, it's something that like, oh, not really, it's like not important, but they are spreading this, and many people believe in what they are saying, and most of people that read this bullshit, they don't know anything about Russia, about Ukraine, so they do believe what these trolls write. And yeah, it is very important, and thank you so much for doing this and for helping me and Ukraine in general fighting this. Okay, a few last questions. David Red Wine. Where will the party in Crimea this summer be held? Is it too early to book a hotel for the party? I will get back to you regarding that, guys, a little bit later. I think that it will definitely be in Crimea, but I'm still thinking either it is Yalta or Sevastopol, because there are many, many beautiful places in Crimea, and I cannot wait to go there on the tour. And yeah, I cannot wait for you guys to have opportunity to come and see. So yeah, I will make research on that, and we'll let you know. Mary Beth, I remember your question. So Mary Beth made amazing tattoo, and she's asking if a peace sign to her tattoo is a thing or not. I think that it is amazing like it is. Mary Beth made tattoo. She's a great supporter of Ukraine. She's like amazing person, and she made a tattoo. The round circle with Ukrainian flag, and I think it's beautiful. And I mean, you guys are amazing. You know, I'm thinking about all the support you do, and it's just you give, and it's just unbelievable. Pen Nicked asking how do you assess Poland's attitude in this conflict? Oh, greetings from Poland. Amazing. Just right about the time, you know. Poland Poland is Ukraine's biggest friend, biggest supporter, biggest partner. Poland has done so much for Ukraine in the beginning of war, especially because, not especially, in the beginning of war, when those thousands of people just fled out of Ukraine, and Poland was so welcoming. They did such a great job. We will never forget their kindness. And in the bigger scale, Poland now with the UK, with US, also a leader of growing support for Ukraine. They encourage other countries and Baltic countries as well, and many, many countries. So, well, the question was about Poland, so I replied. What else? CIA Combat Flower asked me, NATO getting involved in the war. NATO, oh, it's a question. NATO getting involved in the war? Pros, shortens the war. Cons, takes away the victory from Ukraine. Would you deploy NATO troops in Ukraine if you could? No, I would not. And you see, this is not about taking victory away. I'm sure neither Ukraine nor Ukrainians won the medal or waiting for the medal or something like that. But it's just simply because, it's simply because it would be an escalation. And we don't want escalation. Ukrainian people do not want that. And give us weapons we need, and we will beat the shit out of Russians ourselves. Okay. All right. Oh my God, it's more than 1 hour. And I think I have a few more questions. Okay, guys. and I will leave you in peace. The man with a tattoo. I know you may find it trivial, but are they safer, or at least as safe, since moving to a new office? Do you do you have time to unwind with friends, or is it not possible because of this threat of bombing? And the other question was from Jasper Hagen. To which extent, if at all, are you and your friends able to live your normal lives in Kiev now? I can't imagine the mental hardships every Ukrainian has been and is going through. For us, in other countries, it is incomparable. Best wishes and all my support from Norway. Thank you so much, guys, from Norway, from your support. And it's not no, I cannot say that it's safer or not safe, or not safe. It's the same. I mean, in Kiev, it is more or less in like city center, same as the previous one. So yeah, missiles flying everywhere. And of course, now, like, we do have shelter, like basement. We should go there, of course, but I don't go there always when air raid sirens are, just because we also monitoring situation in social medias and through our channels as well, at work. So we know whether it is like trainings in Belarus or Russia, or the launched missiles or drones. We like kind of monitoring the situation. About the like going out with friends, that was actually very interesting. I wanted to share you, and kind of, yeah. Yesterday I met my friend. We haven't I haven't seen him for probably a month. Yeah, after or before even Christmas. He's my old friend, diplomat from Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and we went to the Cuban bar kind of thing. Well, it's just a very nice. Well, I know the owner, and he's a very nice, used to be a volunteer and still like volunteering since 2014. And it's just I support him, and it's a nice place just to sit down. There are people, nice people there, nice atmosphere, let's say, right? And they have live music, Cuban band, and people like after 8 p.m. it was really crowded, and people were like started dancing Latino like dances, like, or moves kind of. And I don't want, I don't want to sound like I'm not like having fun or something. Like, I do. I mean, I still joke, I still laugh, and it's not like I'm sitting depressed all day long. But I was watching them, and I just realized that I don't know when I could actually have real fun. Because, well, yeah, probably because we were talking about serious topics with my friend. It's not that, like, or even like that I wanted. No, I to go and like dance or something. But I just caught myself on the thought that I don't know when, because it's just so weird for me watching people dancing and like having fun. I'm not saying that we should not or we cannot, but it's just I wanted something I want to share with you. But yeah, other than that, it was just a moment of thought. Other than that, of course, we are a lot of people ask me about light situation, electricity situation in. Or there also one question I wanted to reply to Martin's. electricity situation. Electricity situation, you see, it's just it happens every day. Now it's more or less, I would say, more or less by the schedule that we can check online. So probably like 4 hours, 4 hours. Sometimes not by the schedule, but yeah, it's now, before or until the next mass missile attack. When it happens, it is worse, of course. When I'm like on the weekdays, I'm at work and we have like the building belongs probably to critical infrastructure or something, so we of course have electricity all day long. When I come back home, there's often no electricity, or in the morning or something like that. So I mean, it's not comfortable, but again, it's not something that I would, um, complain about, because there are so many more important things than that. But speaking about restaurants, coffee shops, gym, something like everything else, like shopping malls, they do have generators now. Businesses working, and yeah, all is good. Martin Sleep asked, is it clear? It is clear that collective West and partners are supplying more sophisticated and effective weaponry to Ukraine, and a few months ago this was unlikely. There are calls for F-16 jets and attack a mass missile system? Do you think they will eventually be provided? My answer is yes. Can I just say yes? That's all. All right. So there are a few more questions, but it's just I cannot hold you anymore. Thank you so much for watching me, for being with me, and Ukraine will prevail. Russia will lose. We're gonna have our Crimea beach party very soon. Everything will be fine. And Slava Ukraini. Thank you, guys.